This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
You guys, welcome back to another This Might Get Weird. I had to think about it because we have This Might Get Real now. That there was a second my mouth was moving and I said, what's the end of this sentence?
Yeah, that's what This Might Get Weird is the name of our podcast. However, every time I have to say it out loud, I am not confident.
That's the name of our podcast?
That's the title. This might get weird. That got weird. Because I'm always like...
oh, right. Because I end it with, that got weird. Sometimes I end it with a, this got weird. So it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. This is... I'm never confident.
Well, also because the original web series, if you will, was This Might Get.
Yeah, This Might Get.
TMGW. Anyway, that's a little look into my disassociation.
Yeah. My brain is scrambled. As always, what else is new?
Grace went on vacation.
I
went out of town.
Yeah.
I forgot it was my boyfriend's birthday till noon today.
Yeah. Happy belated birthday, Chip. By the time you listen to this podcast, Mamrie, I came over and she was panicked.
Distraught.
That she only remembered this afternoon.
I just traveled. I just saw him. I just traveled. I'm also bad. Like, unless something is a crushing deadline is above my head, I probably don't know what day it is. I'm probably in like a 4-day window of guessing what the actual date is.
Yeah, and people's birthdays I've just never been great about. Like, and I have radical inconsistency of gift giving for birthdays.
Oh, you're getting something every 5 years.
You're going to get something incredible one year, and then you're never going to hear from me for another 5 years, and then I'll remember that, fuck, I gave them a gift before, and then you'll get one.
Yes.
And then I'll go off into the mystery.
We have the same exact process when it comes to that. It will literally be like, here's $600 worth of cameos. Nothing for 2 years. Then like, I'll take you to dinner. Then nothing. I mean,
same with like Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Yes.
Like my mom and stepmom will get like, here's a $300 facial, and then nothing. Radio silence.
Yes.
Maybe an edible arrangement, which is what both of them got this year.
Okay. I mean, obviously the Hail Mary.
Yeah.
No, we're the same way. It's like my generosity comes in strong waves.
Yes, and I have to ride the wave when it peaks, and then it's just, it's gone. And it's not intentional.
Not at all.
Because if it was, it would not be that way.
Right. No.
It's just how my brain works. So
happy birthday, Chip. I love you so much. Here's the thing that got me, though. And I told you about this because I was like, I burst into tears and panic.
Yeah.
Not because he gives a shit, but because I know he's 3 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So I know if it was 3 p.m. my time, and Chip had yet to acknowledge the fact that it was my birthday, I'd be like, I'm getting 16 candled.
So you're projecting.
I'm projecting my sensitivity onto him.
And he's like, I don't care.
My feelings are hurt about my own actions for someone else. That's called an empath, I think. I'm not sure.
Now you're upset that he's not more upset that he doesn't think that you should be wishing him happy birthday.
So now it's a fight. Do you not love me enough to be offended that I didn't wish you happy birthday till 3?
Happy fucking birthday, Chip.
Biatch.
Wow.
No, so anyway.
He's in that weird window of age that I feel like everyone's in from 33 to 40, whatever.
33 to 39, doesn't matter.
It's all the same. I know, because that's like Elliot turned 37 this year. Claudio, our friend who we just went to Mexico with for his birthday, just turned 37. And he had to like think about how old he was. And I was I think I'm 38. Look, but who knows? I mean, yeah.
I only know how old I am because it's 40.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Once this next birthday comes, I'm going to be saying 62. I'm going to have no idea for the rest of my life.
100%.
Okay,
100%.
so you went to Mexico.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was like a real vacation.
I love to hear it.
It was so nice. It was like a real vacation, especially because you texted this morning and were like, there is nary a post from either you or Sarah about you being in Mexico. And I was like, I know. It was like, she and I were talking about how it was so nice to like not worry about posting.
By the way, Sarah and Claudio, who were also at, you might know them from such hits as Grace's Wedding.
It's my wedding. And they are, and we've gone out to, they live in Denver. We've gone out to Colorado and visited them before. And so this was like our first like travel together as a couple.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which is, you know, super fun and also like a little nerve wracking because you're like, we think we align really well.
What if they get really grouchy on day 3?
Right.
What if they're prone to Montezuma's revenge?
What if they don't love that we are so down to do anything that it seems like we have no opinions about anything?
Yeah.
But it was great. It was like the perfect speed for everyone. I've also never stayed in an all-inclusive.
You never have?
Like not at least for the duration that we did 4 nights, I think.
Grace, for someone
oh my God.
who likes to not have to make decisions, it's the greatest thing of all time.
It's so bizarre. It's amazing, and it's bizarre to like eat a meal and then just like walk away. I couldn't believe, like we landed the first night and the place, we got there at night. So it was like, we had no idea like where we were going or what we were doing. We were like wandering hangry, trying to find like a restaurant, and they were like finishing up their dinner. And Elliot just like walked to we finally found like the buffet, and he was like, we've never been here before. Can we eat here? And they were like,
relax.
Yeah, you can sit down. We're like, thank you. But it was so insane to just get things anywhere you want on the property and then just like get up and go. It blew my mind. I was like, I get it.
You forget how much like math you do constantly with hospitality and like making sure that you're tipping enough and you know, like it's this whole other little cog in your wheel. Is that is there a cog? Is a cog in a wheel?
Cog in the system? Yeah. It's like go. It's bothering it.
There's a whole little hamster running that you don't even think about. And then my favorite thing is just to go to a place, which I know is very privileged, is to just go to a place and be like, so I'm just not, I'm considered nice. I don't have to, like, I don't have to worry. Like, of course you tip in certain aspects.
Yeah, but
to not be like, wait, who got this appetizer?
I'm constantly worried about the etiquette of things.
Yes.
Because I feel very insecure about travel etiquette, especially. Like, I'm always like, just tip. If you're wondering if you should tip, just tip. But in this situation, like, it's not offensive, but it's like borderline, like it's really not necessary.
Right. Or like, throw me cash at the end of the week.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Yeah. Like
there was
my pool guy, my housekeeper, you know what I mean? All that jazz.
Yeah. There was like, I want to like scream from the rooftops about this hotel. And then I also don't want anyone to find out about this hotel at all. Because they've gone, I mean, it's called Eshkaret.
It's like an XCARAT.
Yeah, Eshkaret.
Because I've slid into their DMs for a free stay and they left me on red.
They read my DM and sent me a link to where I can book my travel.
There we go. Hey, look. In our quest of teaching you to get free shit.
Yeah.
The fact is, at least you sent the DM. Now we just got to close the deal.
Right. Yeah. And this, honestly, it was so fine because it was like worth it.
Right,
with
of
the
course.
all-inclusive I couldn't believe it. The hotel itself is amazing. Like we had an 8-course dinner that was included. Like that's part of the
do you not remember corn?
Yeah.
Corngate?
Yes.
20 That's what I'm saying.
How quickly I forget. It was just it was so great, and I just kept thinking like, how is this going to get ruined by people, you know, and something because I was like, I the amount that we were drinking did not add up to how I did not feel drunk or I didn't feel hungover the entire time that I'm like, they water these drinks down.
Probably, but
that's great.
I don't care.
Honestly, I was like, this is how I should be drinking on vacation.
Without having to pay for it, I would be asleep by 2 p.m.
I didn't have a single hangover the entire time, which blew me away.
Yeah.
But I kept being like, how are there not more shit-faced people here? There's only one man that Sarah yelled at.
Really?
Which was phenomenal. I have, you know, like you travel with friends and you get to like really see other parts of them as people. And this was amazing that we had spent like the day at the pool, and then we went to our own rooms, took like a nap for a couple hours.
That's the best nap there is.
Oh, it was amazing. And then came back to a bar to have like an espresso drink before going to dinner.
This is like reading my ideal
Real
day.
Housewife? It was
we
like
love it.
amazing. And we went to this like little bar. We're having these like drinks, and then they were showing us in this bar that they put insects, bugs on the guacamole on some of the meals.
It's the little grasshoppers.
Yeah. Well, these were like different, like little worms, a little.
Oh, like worm salt. Yeah. That's what they'll crush, and they'll make a salt out of it for mezcal.
Yeah, they had originally taken it off. Like they were trying to get us to try it, and they had ordered it, and then they brought it out without the bugs on because I think people like don't want it necessarily.
I mean, what are you, Robert F. Kennedy's brain? All these worms?
What? I know, man. That guy.
That shit is quite crazy.
That's
crazy.
That's crazy.
Crazy. Okay, sorry. Okay, no worms on your guac.
We got a little bit ramekin of like bugs and worms for us to try. I had one. It was not my jam.
Pretty crunchy.
It's like that time of day where it's like before dinner, late, but it's late afternoon. So you're like, this is the witching hour for adults right now if they don't go take a nap. And then the bar itself was kind of like, it was not very crowded because people I think are napping. And so there's like a few people hanging out in there. And then the bartenders, because it was so like empty, came and gave like bar snacks to everyone. And this guy, like picture a man.
Gross.
Like picture like a Florida man.
Oh,
there he is.
That's not Elliot.
Yeah, that's not Elliot, but you know, same place of origin. This guy just like full like trucker hat and like sweaty, but like has been like red from being out in the sun all day. He's just like sitting at the bar, and then he like looks over at us as the bartender's like giving us this free thing, and he's like, "What is that? What is that?" And Sarah just looks at him like immediately. She goes, "Stop yelling."
Nice.
Stop yelling.
This is like Anne Hathaway with fans.
It was like, I couldn't even, like my brain goes to like, I don't want confrontation. So that Homer Simpson gif of just blending into the bushes, that my brain just starts to disassociate and is like, I don't exist with this man. And she just immediately told him to stop yelling. And he's like, what? And she's like, "You're yelling. Stop yelling." And he like looked at us and he was like, "Sorry, your friend's really annoying." And then
About Sarah,
who's telling this wasted, sweaty red man
just a hush
to stop screaming in a place where other adults are
an enclosed
hanging
area.
out. And so we're all looking at him going, "Shh, shh, shh." And then Claudio leans over to him, and Claudio's Italian, and he just goes, "So we're not going to talk to each other anymore."
Oh my God.
And this guy then like looks away from him. The bartender brings this man
his own grasshoppers.
He goes, "I didn't order that."
Oh God, I hate this man.
It was off. And the bartenders are trying to be like nice. Like no one that works there is going to like yell at this guy. And then finally he orders 4 drinks and walks out with 4 drinks, spilling them everywhere.
Wow.
And it was insane. But that was like, and then we saw him the next day.
Did he remember anything? Did he apologize?
He looked at Sarah and Claudio, who were wearing matching Buc-ee's bathing suits.
I have that bathing suit.
Do you? Okay. I was like, this looks familiar.
A black with Buc-ee's faces all over it, one piece. Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a red one and Claudio's wearing a matching one. They got so much attention from everyone.
Of course.
Just being like, Buc-ee's, yeah. This guy, they see him the next day. He goes and compliments them on their Buc-ee's bathing suits.
He had no idea.
Absolutely zero clue.
But leaning into someone and say, "We're not going to talk anymore," is perfect.
It was amazing.
It's poetry.
I saw Claudio talk to him and I couldn't hear what he said to him. And he came back. He's like, "I thought about the first 5 things I'd want to say to him, and I thought I can't say those things to him. So I just looked at him and said, we're not going to speak anymore."
Honestly, I wish he would have cursed him out in Italian.
I know, but also
That would have
Claudio
been nice.
speaks Spanish. I didn't know that about him. And he picked it up when he worked in a restaurant out here. So it was like we were the most privileged people to have someone that spoke Spanish
do all of it.
with us.
Oh,
and he
wow.
became like the mayor of the hotel because everyone loved Claudio.
Of course.
It was so great.
Was there a lazy river?
Oh my God. The hotel blew my mind because it truly was like something I imagined as a little girl of like what a dream adult vacation would be.
That makes me want to cry, Grace.
I was texting you
you
being
were
like,
so excited.
We have to come here. Like, it's just got everything you need. And also you can be as busy or as not busy as you want. You just like, there's these rivers and caves around the whole property that you can just pick up a life vest, jump in. And like one day we just like floated all around, stopped at bars, got out, got a drink, got back in and like floated around.
That's the best.
I was like, this is amazing.
All I've been thinking about lately is how I can't wait to get into like a real river this summer and go tubing.
Oh, we went to Eshkaret, the park itself, and there's another lazy river basically there. But that one's scary as shit in some parts because you're going in and out of caves and there's bats in the caves.
Yeah. And that's not a euphemism for boogers.
Not a euphemism for boogers.
Yeah.
If it was, that was a stuffy nose.
Bats can be a little scary.
Yeah, that was wild.
Man. I love it.
Support for today's episode comes from our faves over at Skims. Y'all, sorry, that was my Mamrie impression. You all know by now that I'm a t-shirt girly. I love a t-shirt. Dress it up, dress it down. It is a staple in my closet. And oftentimes I go for the, you wouldn't believe it, oversized, ill-fitting, shapeless shirts. But I have recently been introduced to the Skims cotton jersey, and oh my God, okay? I have 2 of them, and I brought both of the same shirt with me to Mexico. It gives you shape. It gives you a waist. It is hugging without being claustrophobic. The fabric is light, but also not too light that it's like transparent, you know? It breathes, but it also still like contours to your body. I don't know what the magic is in the fabric, but it is absolutely wonderful. You can, like I said, dress it up, dress it down. It's perfect with fun pants. They also, if you are more interested in an oversized look, they have the boyfriend t-shirt. It's perfect. It hangs on the body and it's super, again, soft. These fabrics are crazy soft. I do not understand the science behind it. I've never had a fabric like this, and that's why Skims caters to everyone's different styles and needs. So if you are interested, shop the Skims t-shirt shop at skims.com. Now available in sizes XXS through 4X. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know that we sent you. After you place an order, select podcast in the survey and select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. It was so fun. One of my favorite moments was that Elliot looked at a menu and he said, tacos with duck mole? I was like, mole? He thought it was mole, the animal. I was like, wow, that is so endearing. That's the most Florida thing.
That's really cute.
And it was so sweet. Also, shout out to Abby, who I met in the adult club, who listens to the podcast.
Love it.
There's this speakeasy in the hotel itself.
There's always nightclubs at these places.
Right, but I had no idea. It's like literally you walk to the basically like employee parking lot and you go like you're going, like it looks like you're walking in behind a kitchen somewhere, and you follow these red flashing lights, and then you go and there's like this club environment with like red lights everywhere. And the first night we went, it was so packed.
Yeah.
And this is like really what I think solidified a close kinship with Sarah and Claudio. Like we walk in, it's loud, it's so packed, and they're like, this is the most crowded we've ever seen this place. And Claudio looked at us, he's like, should we leave? We can come back on Sunday. It'll be, and I was like, yes, 100% yes. And we came back on a less busy night, and this girl walked up after we have already like had a whole day of drinking and like we're fun and tired, and I think I just like finished dinner and we're having like an early night, so we're like, let's go to the bar early and then we'll go to bed. And this girl came over, she's like, are you Grace Helbig? And I was like, yeah.
You caught me at the perfect time, the apex.
She was so sweet. She was like, I love the podcast. This might get weird and this might get real. I was like, that's amazing.
That's so sweet.
She's like, what the hell are you doing here?
You're like, you'll hear it next week on the pod.
I was like, I also can't believe I'm here. And it's been so fun. What are you doing here? She like got a work trip from doing well in her job, and I didn't ask her what she did for a living.
Don't need all those deets.
What was great, I was curious after the fact, because I was like, what kind of job do you work at where if you do well, like this is the reward, is like you come here with other, because
Mary Kay,
she was there with other employees, and then it was like one of those very sweet moments where I was like, if you want a photo, I'm so down to take a photo. Just letting you know. She's like, I'm good. Thanks.
God,
and
that's
I was
the
like,
worst.
hell yeah. Well, no, it was actually
No, but
like,
it's humbling. It's humbling.
yeah. And just PSA, I'm always down to take a photo.
Right.
If anyone ever sees me out in the world, I just always throw it out there so that no one feels awkward not doing
us
it.
millennials love photos.
Yeah, she was like our age. So it was like...
So she's cool. Well,
She
I'm an
was cool.
elder. I'm an elder millennial.
But she was really sweet. And it caught me so off guard because I like forgot who I was just on vacation, just being like, I'm in a different universe. And you and I tried to podcast and it was like a bit clunky and all that.
Thanks for sticking with us last Friday. It was Freeze Town.
But I was just like, what is this woman saying to me? Yeah, I do a podcast. Yeah, thank you.
I have a life outside of this resort.
I was like in my whole fantasy world of being on vacation, of being like, I don't exist in my normal capacity.
Know you truly are relaxed. And like Grace was saying before, like I was traveling in Detroit. She was in Mexico. We're chatting back and forth. And then this morning, I legitimately woke up and was like, did I get it wrong? Did Grace go to Mexico?
Yeah.
Because there was not a single story frame. You and Sarah are both on social media, like pretty well.
Yeah.
And I was like, is she actually okay?
I know, because that's the thing. If you don't post, then I was like, people might get worried that like something happened or there was a fight or we got hurt or someone got sick or something's wrong. But the reality was like, as soon as I got there, every time I picked up my phone, like even when I went back to the room to like lay down, I would like reflexively pick up my phone, and then I just have so much anxiety as soon as I looked at Instagram that I was just like, I don't want to think, because it constantly have in the back of my head like, you should be making content, you should be posting content,
back in that cycle.
Yeah, and I'm so like frustrated with it, and I feel like it's adding stress that I don't need right now. So it was so nice to like kind of take the weekend off, and Sarah and I were talking about it of just be like, she's literally like a strategist for social media, and so her brain is constantly like looking at that from a how can I make something, but to be able to just like kind of not worry about that for the weekend was so lovely that I think actually I'm gonna like take a break.
You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah,
this might get weird exclusive.
Yeah.
Also, who cares?
That's what I mean. It's like, I want to take a break that's literally like for my own self too, because I feel like I keep referring to it like this when I talk to Elliot about it, that I feel like a fly on sticky paper with social media. Like I just need to pull myself off of it and just like do a month where like I'm just doing the podcast and then I'm working on like the other stuff I want to work on behind the scenes and not constantly be worried about.
I support this. See, the thing is that with Chip, like us sending each other funny shit on social media is like a part of the way we communicate when he's out of town.
100%.
So it'd feel very weird to be like, no, I don't check that stuff. I will talk to you on the phone later. Like that's just like so foreign. Like we speak in memes.
I'm still trying to figure out like, what does this look like for me? Because I think I would still check it occasionally, try to cut back on doing that, but just remove the like constant sort of looming anxiety of having to participate in it, having to post, having to come up with content, having to make content right now. I think I might take like at least a month.
You pumped out a lot during cancer.
Yeah, during a time when I could have not. So
so like you brought people into that world and like did create, but I know you were moved to create it, but then also like you were providing an insight into what you're going through, but also like a way for other people who might have gone through this or whose other friends are going through this, like could latch on to. And that perspective. So now, girl, we got vacation, Grace.
I know. I'm listening.
Live your life like you're at an all-inclusive resort.
Right. I mean, I haven't done that before. I'm just like listening to myself of being like, oh, this really stresses me out. Okay, so take a fucking break.
Yeah.
Like just stop doing it for a little bit.
Quit
and then my
hanging
brain
out with that friend.
Exactly. My brain neurotically goes to, well, I have to like declare it somehow. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like just you figure it out for you and then go from there. So
however,
that's
you
what
did
we're
declare it.
Yeah, which
This
is
the
also like the
official press
social
release.
accountability of it.
Yeah,
of being-
no. Oh,
'cause
totally.
There's also that fear too, which is like, this is where the neuroticism skyrockets, where you're like, who gives a shit about me announcing taking a break? And then also, but people would worry if you just like left and had no sign of like, you're coming back or you're taking a break or like, and like even this weekend, like not posting anything that it's like,
let's be honest. You were in a foreign country. I got nary outfit of the day and OOTD. And we podcasted on Saturday and didn't hear anything else. And I was like, I think she got back.
yeah, no, it was after.
That was me on her Instagram asking if she was in jail.
Yeah. After I tagged you in that.
Oh, okay.
After Saturday, after we podcasted, I was just like, yeah, this is like just very confirming that I just want to take a second and just like enjoy being here. I was trying to really take on the travel perspective of like Disney adults, like when they travel.
You are in love with them.
Well, not them, but the way in which they observe
Their ethos.
the sort like the way in which that they have adventures and they're like fully engrossed in their adventures. And I was like, I want to be kind of more present in what I'm doing.
Hold on
here.
though. That is, I feel like that's counterintuitive because you say they're fully engaged in their adventures while they're filming and vlogging it.
Yeah,
So,
100%.
and then going home and editing it. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of an oxymoron.
It is in a way. However, there are some where it feels like the distribution of work between the couple itself allows for at least one of them to really just be there enjoying themselves while the other one films and then they go back and edit.
So it's an exercise in partnership.
Yeah, I mean, like I was shooting videos and taking a bunch of photos, and I don't know if I'll edit like a video together. So it's like I'm filming all this stuff while we're there. I'm just not engaging with putting it out on a social media situation just yet.
Ja feel.
Anyway.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, it was so fun. There wasn't any like really crazy stories. We started doing this double dessert thing where we would have dessert at the dinner, or we'd have like a full meal, and then we would finish, go to the buffet, and have
More dessert?
second
Yeah.
dessert. It was incredible. Second
love
dessert, highly recommend.
Well, I traveled this weekend as well to Detroit.
Yeah. The Mexico of the North.
The all reclusive. Obviously I had a great time. I was with Chip. We were like, they had like one of their classic bar rescue, like cookout all day by the hotel.
I think I saw the few times I checked Instagram, one was like, I'm hurting or something on your story.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, what happened?
No, it's like 2:00. Chip gets home and then one of the sound guys, Chops, who I love to death, is just like, I'm making smash burgers for everybody. And and they're like playing dominoes, it's music, everyone's drinking, and like you do that all day. And then we go to dinner and then we came back and did it more. I fell in love with dominoes.
Pizza?
The game.
Yeah, isn't it fun?
I
It is
fucking
fun.
loved. I remember like learning how to play it a million years ago at some type of family function or whatnot. But I knew they got into it. Girl, I was like obsessed. Like once I figured it out, it was full Rain Man.
Yeah.
Like focused in, like Galifianakis in Vegas in
that's like
The Hangover.
What? You play Rummy Cube?
Rummy Cube.
Rummy Cube.
It's a tile game. I love it. But it's so funny when you're talking about a belligerent person.
Yeah.
I had my flight and I was being legitimate and I was adding beans to it.
Nice.
And I called customer service like 2 nights before the flight to just be like, I cannot find online exactly how to do this. Like I keep filling out the form, but when I say like submit form, it's like prompting me to print it as opposed to like submit it. So I was like, I don't know if this actually went through or not, right?
Yeah.
So I'm calling. I think a lot of customer service for airlines now work from home.
Why? What'd you hear?
Because this man answered, and when you think it's like a loud office when you're like, oh, it's outsourced.
Yeah.
No, he immediately turned down his TV.
Yeah.
I heard like Real Housewives or something. He turned down the TV and he was shit-faced.
Really?
I was like, oh, hi, is it Delta? He was Southern. He was like, Delta customer service, how can I help you? And I was just like, oh, hi, I'm just calling to see if my dog is on this reservation and I can't figure it out on the website. And he was drunk.
Oh my God.
I could just see him in his lazy boy.
Yeah.
Having, some Celsius and vodka. And he was like, well, you just go to this and then you pull this up. And you should see this. And I was like, I'm not seeing that on the app. He was like, you're on the app. I said, yeah, I'm on the app. He goes, oh, no, honey. He goes, you need to get on the computer. Phones are for playing games and calling boys. I was like, okay. I mean, obviously I loved him, but I was like stressed to get this done. But I was like, oh my gosh, I really feel like it used to be, let's rent a big call center. Why don't we just outsource this to people's homes?
Yeah, there's I have some memory from some documentary of a guy doing exactly that worked from home as customer service, of him like living in some place in Florida and just like putting the headset on and being like, he's now like on the clock.
Yeah.
And it's just like him in the backyard with like a gator 5 feet away from him.
Just like shushing the kids, like at a pool party.
Was it helpful? Did you get what you needed from this man?
I did need to
the
go
best life advice ever.
I did need to go to a computer. That is true. I mean, like just even saying like, not saying like, oh no, you need to go like to the desktop.
Yeah.
You need to get you to a computer. Phones are for playing games and calling boys. And I was like,
I love that.
Well, I was like, when do you get off work?
I want to know.
Let's have a drink.
What games are you playing? You got Scrabble? What else you got going on?
I think he's losing some money.
Yeah. He's playing the bingo where you pay.
So that was great. But so I fly to Chip on Friday. It was just like a Friday to Monday.
Yeah.
Quick thing because he gets like one day off, Yeah. And so what killed me is I get to the lounge, I'm hanging out, and I'm like, oh, I need to stuff my face. I just realized I'm going on like an almost 5-hour flight.
Yeah.
And like, it's that like weird like 1 o'clock where I like had a bunch of coffee and now I'm like, whoa, I haven't eaten. Let me get on this flight. And I didn't have any time. So I get there, and as soon as they come out, I'm like, I'll take a cheese plate.
Yeah.
I'll take a cheese plate. I'll take a sparkling wine.
Yep.
Official vacation mode. I had like turned in a project that day. So I was like, I'm ready to party.
Yeah.
So I get my cheese plate. She hands it to me. I've got beans in my lap. Yeah, I can't really like pull down the thing. So I just like put it right at my feet and I get my stuff and then I arrange ourselves and I'm all set in. I've queued up You've Got Mail.
Nice.
An iconic rom-com.
Yeah.
Forgot how much I loved it. I miss old Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. So anyway, and I go to get my cheese plate and it's not there.
Go to get it and it's not there?
It was like, I like put it down like at my feet, like by my bag while I just like got everything situated because Beans was right there. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. So I'm just like feeling around, I'm doing like the foot feel around and I'm like, what in the hell? This doesn't make any sense. So I'm like, I'll figure it out. They come around with the drinks. I get a couple bags of Sun Chips.
Yeah.
Never enough.
Never enough Sun Chips.
Oh, they're so good. And when we do a chip countdown, you might be surprised. I'm just saying.
Where they
how
land?
much I love Sun Chips.
We should, by the way, figure out when we're doing another countdown.
Let's do it. Okay, let's do it next week.
I'm down. I'm down.
So anyway, I'm just like, I guess it's like whatever. I can't figure it out. Long story short, and there's these two little girls in front of me with like maybe albino. Like their hair is so white. Okay. You're like you're the whitest child I've ever seen, right? And you're like all a little crazy. And at one point, and like we deplane. I'm starving, right?
Yeah.
I see like a little flick of purple. Like they're tossing stuff at each other. I'm like, what's going on? And then I hear the mom go, "What do you two got down there?" And a little girl goes, "Cheese." Those bitches. My cheese plate slid to the next seat. And they just thought
it was theirs.
They just thought it was a prize.
Wow.
That landed at their feet. Then I realized I was like, that little flick of purple in the air was my tiny Ghirardelli square. Oh. It was my one square of dark chocolate.
Oh, the Shining Twins.
And then I get up and I see after they've left, I'm like, there's my cheese plate destroyed. They secretly ate my cheese.
Did you say anything?
No, I kind of respected it.
Yes.
Because if I was a little 7-year-old and all of a sudden I was like, what hit my foot? Cheese
and chocolate?
Chocolate, grapes, apple slices. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah. At what point do you scold a stranger's child in public?
Well, if I'd have noticed on the flight.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, do you tap the mom and you be like, hey, your kids are eating my cheese.
Right.
When like it did slide up there. I don't think they like their tiny arms couldn't have reached and stolen my cheese.
You don't know that. I mean, children have no rules.
It was wild.
That is crazy.
I was livid.
I mean, yeah, I would be so frustrated, and then I would feel so helpless of not knowing how to get vengeance on the children.
Spring has sprung, and that means spring cleaning, baby. Whether that means stacking up on cleaning supplies or swapping out your winter clothes for new spring clothes, make sure you're using Ibotta and get real cash back with every single purchase. If you haven't heard of Ibotta, well, I just bought you a bunch of money back because, honey, it's basically free money. And here's what I mean. Ibotta is a free app that gives you the most cash back every time you shop on hundreds of items, from groceries to beauty supplies to toys, so you can make sure that you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. The average Ibotta user earns $256 per year. I mean, that could cover the cost of an entire shopping trip, that flight you've been eyeing, or a fancy dinner with your lover. Okay, that got weird. Either way, other apps give you points that don't really amount to much. With Ibotta, just add your offers in the app, upload your receipt, and get real cash that you can cash out to your bank account, PayPal, or gift cards. You guys, it's just that easy. You're literally uploading your receipts. So join the over 50 million users and earn cash back every time you shop for over 2,700 brands and retailers, including your favorite grocery stores, Lowe's, Macy's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code GETWEIRD when you register. So just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash and use code GETWEIRD. That's IBOTTA in the Google Play or App Store, and use code GETWEIRD. So get weird, but also like get some money back. Speaking of children.
Yeah.
Have you seen Four Seasons Orlando, baby?
No, I have not been on the computer. I have not been on the phone. I have not been on the social world of what's going on out there.
I saw this was trending yesterday. So I looked it up. I'm still a little confused by it. I feel
what
like
is it? Florida Baby?
It's called Four Seasons Orlando, baby. Don't look it up.
Okay.
I'll show you.
Okay.
But essentially, it's just a quick, I don't know if it's from TikTok or what.
There's a Four Seasons in Orlando.
Yeah.
All right.
Apparently it's pretty nice.
I bet.
I mean, Four Seasons in general, enjoy them.
Yeah.
But so anyway, there's a guy holding his baby, and the baby probably looks like one, you know, and he's in diapers, and he's like he looks just like a little.
They look like ragdolls.
He looks like he's a day trader.
Yeah.
Like, no, you know what I mean? Where you're like, do you have a steak lunch every day? You know, like he could have been on Wall Street.
Okay.
That kind of like a little white baby. And the sister, who's probably like 3 or 4, is on the bed. She's jumping on the bed. And the mom goes, who's ready to go to Four Seasons Orlando? And the 1-year-old goes, me. And so everyone is talking about like sentient babies, fully realized babies. It's like a thing where they're like, I guess it's a phenomenon where they're like, there's a lot of kids who just understand language a lot faster and to develop memories faster. And like that kid understood what she was saying, and he's like 1.
Wow.
Like before the sister, he was like, me.
Wow.
It's wild.
That's really, really nuts.
I know. And so other people are like, Four Seasons Orlando, baby. So
Because I didn't even put together that the baby couldn't speak. I was
no,
like,
he's like a 1-year-old.
I was like, that's just a spoiled baby that's going to the Four Seasons.
Right? No. It's like this baby.
Whoa.
He's a full baby. Was like me. So he like understood a hotel chain.
I wonder if they train this. I don't believe anything I see on the internet.
I know it's tough, but then a lot of other people were weighing in. Oh, sorry, it's a girl. It's a little girl. And a lot of people were like, oh yeah, like my sister remembers stuff when she was like 8 months old.
Real? Yeah. My first memory is like I remember getting this Sears portrait done, and my mom was like, I remember going to this area of Sears. I remember it being this kind of carpet that we were on. I remember the dress I was wearing. And she was like, yeah, we have that photo. And you're only like 8 months old in it.
And you remember it.
I was like, I remember going past the lawnmowers and then being like, those look fun to sit on. And like, then let's go.
Those look fun to sit on.
But I feel like they train their baby to understand cadence, and the baby knows Pavlovian how to like respond to an upward inflection of a question. So they could have asked anything.
It's like if I say to Beans like, you wanna.
Yeah, exactly.
So if I was to say like, you wanna get your butt squeezed, she'd be like, oh. You know, like I knew the first part.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit that. And also,
I get it.
Are babies weird and crazy and unpredictable? 100%. It could also be something diabolical happening in the way that genes are reproducing now in children. Who knows?
That's true. But I started getting like locked into TikTok of people being like, yeah, like we talk down to babies.
Yeah.
They can't speak like as soon as they'd like to, but they're understanding what you're saying. There's like fully realized. Yeah. What is it called? Not fully realized babies.
Do babies need to be walked? I saw a man this morning when I was going to therapy.
Okay.
And he was like taking his time walking across the street with this. I could only see the dangly legs of what I imagine is like a very newbornish baby in this baby Bjorn. He had a big umbrella, so like full shade.
Wait, I absolutely know what you're saying.
Yeah. And I'm going, who is this walk for? Do you need to get out of the house, or is that baby that looks dead where its feet are literally just dangling, does that thing need to be moved around?
Okay, that's a good point, because I understand when they're like a toddler and they're like, they just need to get out of the house.
When it's
a baby in a stroller, is that for the parent to get in their steps?
Right.
Or do babies need that movement and
they need
sunlight?
Because I was like, this baby is dead, napping something.
It's not dead.
It's not dead.
You said it's dead twice.
It's not dead. It can't see anything that this man is seeing outside of the house. But I guess the movement and like I don't know, the jostling that happens of walking,
the fresh air,
is the air. Like I don't know. It's easily Googleable, but I was just thinking that when I saw this man, I was just like, does that baby need that, or does that man need this?
That's a great point, because you also think about sometimes, you know, babies, people are very protective of babies, and then other people will be like, they need to experience these germs to have any type of immune system. Right. So with taking them for a walk, it's also like, do they need to be exposed to like pollen and shit? Or else they're going to be like little sick kids who's allergic to everything? Right.
That I'm like, when I was getting treatment, the nurses were all like, you should go on walks if you can. Like, that's a good thing. And I didn't do it at all. And I'm fine. But I'm like, does a baby need that? Or a baby could be okay just in a house, not going out into the world.
But maybe they just don't develop their, you know, if you have a baby inside all the time and they get no sun.
Right. Yeah.
Like they'll be vitamin D deficient.
Had a full umbrella. Like he was really it was cumbersome what his setup was.
We needed an umbrella hat.
Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Way better.
But I was just like, I never really thought about it. I was like, because people in my neighborhood walk with strollers. They walk with babies and Bjorns. I see women walking around all the time that I'm like, oh, is this something that it keeps the baby like calm?
Well, lots of babies like...
Welcome to childless women just speculating wildly about childcare.
I can't wait for people to listen to this who are actual parents to be like, these fucking idiots.
Thank God they don't have
a platform.
Kids.
Well, lots of babies, like I've seen parents that have to drive them for them to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Which I like.
I think that's
I can fall asleep in a car pretty good.
Yeah.
I know you can.
Yeah, I have done that. Mouth agape.
Well, speaking of walking, I did have one little overheard last week.
Love it.
It was very short, but I was walking Beans, and there was another guy walking his dog, and he was like talking emphatically on his phone, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm excited to play it." And so I was like, "Okay, he's talking about a game, or he's an actor, right?" So I was immediately like, "Beans, pretend to be," you know, like waiting around, and then he says, "Well, the role doesn't really call for that." No, I'm playing a prophet who disembowels a wolf.
What?
I said, write it down.
Disembowels?
I'm playing a prophet who disembowels a wolf.
What's disembowels?
Like cuts it down the middle and takes its bowels out. Like
what? Yeah, cut open and remove the internal organs of.
I said, what is he auditioning for?
What the hell? A prophet? That disembowels a wolf? Okay.
I don't know.
Not my jam.
Season 2 of Yellow Jackets? I'm not sure.
I've never seen that show, but it's horrific.
I gave up after 2 episodes. I was too scared. I was in Palm Springs by myself, and I was checking locks as if some teenage girls who had to turn into cannibals were hunting me in Palm Springs.
Yeah, I've heard the show is nothing but great, but it's I've also heard very graphic and gory, but perhaps
we'll see. So if you see that project, let us know. But then on the flip side, one other thing I saw while walking.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of walking this week.
Yeah.
Is this morning when I was walking Beans, I go past like a church that's also a school, and they have their like, basketball courts.
Yeah.
And it was either the couple of weeks in PE where you learn a dance, or I thought about like what time of year it is. Maybe they were making like a final performance for the year.
Okay.
But it was just like 20 kids who probably looked like 9 years old learning a dance to ABBA's Dancing Queen.
Oh my God.
And the boys were serving and they were so proud.
Yeah.
And then I walk around the corner and there's this little old woman who lives in the neighborhood that I've gotten caught in conversation with her a lot of times.
Yeah.
Doing the dance with them.
Oh my God.
Outside of the fence, right? She's just going along.
Yeah.
And then by the time I get to it, they get in the part where they're like, when you were a kid and you did a dance, it didn't matter if it was you and one person or you and 10 people, where you're like, and now we're moving to the final pose.
Yes. Get ready to go back to back.
It's like, everyone form down. Let's get 2 kids on the floor with one leg out, like leaning on their knee, a couple of middle range. And I was just like, this is the cutest.
This is childhood joy.
But then you saw another group at the end of the little play area, which I had seen before. They clearly got the teacher that would have been me that was taking it way too seriously. Like those kids looked so depressed and mad, while the other ones were just like serving Dancing Queen with a teacher who knew like 4 moves, like maybe Grapevine was like the hardest they were going to do.
Amazing.
It was adorable.
That sounds so cute.
It's so cute.
Children doing that, fantastic. Children stealing floor cheese? No.
Not good.
Terrible.
Kids who want to go to the Four Seasons, love them.
Yeah.
We could get along.
Yeah. Did the Four Seasons recognize this meme of a baby?
They're getting a free ride.
Something to the four. I mean, but that honestly, genius move to the parents. If you're going to try to do a viral video and exploit your brand new baby to the internet, which I don't believe children should be exploited on in any capacity.
We're very against that.
You better go reach for the stars.
How can we get?
Let's go Four Seasons. They're not going Hilton.
No.
Best Western.
We need to have a kid who can say like, "Who's ready to go to the?" And they're like, "Excrat! Oh,
Excrat! We're buying Riviera. I want the chicken and mole."
The chicken mole. Okay, one last thing I'll say before we sign off.
Yeah.
This is just to put into your brain, because I scrolled past this on TikTok and I was shooketh.
Okay.
And I scrolled quick enough to where like I didn't want it in my algorithm.
Okay.
Did you know they make swinger cruises?
This came up. I showed it to Elliot on my Instagram that there is a ship about to take, because we've been talking now about like he's trying to really pitch these cruise.
He's a cruise boy.
Things. And this came up on Instagram of like a swinger cruise is getting ready to take off somewhere. I didn't look at the details of it.
It's going to set sail. Well, when I saw it, it was a couple who was showing up, which I guess they go on it every year. And they were like, that's the playroom. And there was like literally a deck where you, not the deck, is like inside where you think like maybe this is where they have like a ballroom.
Yeah.
Just mattresses with plain white sheets. And then because I know when I went on that back
plain white sheets.
Yeah.
That's
bold.
That's really bold, guys.
I'm like, do you change your own sheets when you're done? But just mattresses. And then like not on beds, just on the floor. And then I know from the Backstreet Boys cruise I took that people would like really decorate their doors, kind of like it was like the first day of college, or or they were like rushing a sorority.
Yeah.
And he was like, the VO was like, if you think they decorate their doors on Disney cruises, wait till you see. And they were like, we're filling ours with memes. And then they're like, of course. And they like had pineapple shirts that was like getting.
Yeah, because the pineapple is what you put on a door upside down on a regular cruise to signify that you're a swinger.
They had gift bags with like, they had made like canvas bags with like a rope heart or something that said like getting naughty, like nautical. Wow. And they were like, and we like to give out gift bags for people we play with.
Things to play with.
They had like parting prizes for people they fucked.
Wow. I mean, They're making it cute.
I was like, I do not want to go on a cruise, but the idea of like accidentally getting on the wrong boat.
I was wondering, how do the people that work on that cruise ship
get paid more?
Do like the vetting process for employees of that cruise ship? Is it because you have to vet people and be like, so this is not a normal cruise.
Yeah.
Like, and what's the form of entertainment on this cruise?
On the cruise.
Can you imagine what kind of improv team is performing on this cruise?
Do you guys like all bone and then go watch magic?
Right.
I know a lot of people in the comments were like, do they test you at the port?
Right. That I'm like, man, if I thought getting COVID on a cruise ship was a worry, there seems like there's a lot potential.
There's a lot going on.
Man,
so anyway,
I did see that. That
I set
blew
it
my
near
mind.
our phones. It's going to come into our algorithm.
It was
I
already
just have
in mine.
never heard. I like to think I know most things.
If you
and I was
believe,
like,
this is what Corey says all the time. I've heard. He's like, if you can think it, it's a
fetish.
thing.
It's a fetish.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Well, I love that I started to end this on the very wholesome Dancing Queen dance. And I was like, hold on,
wait
swinger
a minute.
cruise.
I forgot about swinger cruise. I know. I have in my notes the New York City Dublin portal. Did you see that? The portal. So in New York, this was a couple weeks ago now. There was an art exhibit. They put a portal in New York City, basically this round structure that was a quote portal to Dublin. So it's just a video where you have a live feed of people in Dublin and a live feed of people. Yeah, super cute until everyone fucked it up.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because people in Dublin started showing photos of 9/11 on their phones.
Oh my God.
Up to the screen on the live feed into Manhattan. And then an OnlyFans girl went up and flashed the Dublin people.
I love that.
Yeah, which is apparently a thing that I didn't realize OnlyFans creators do, is they try to do these public spectacles to promote their
it's like
OnlyFans.
the new flash mob.
So,
But
like,
but literally?
but maybe literally a flash mob.
Wow.
Yeah, that I was like, oh yeah, this is why I was going to Eshkret being like, people ruin things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, okay. We are all over the place.
All over the place, guys. But a really fun episode. And just for a little bit of housekeeping, we're doing a live stream over on Patreon this weekend. If you're in our mid-tier and up, live streams are once a month. And so that one will be a very fun. We're doing a high tea.
We're doing a high tea. So we're going to, like, in honor of summer and flowers and and because of us going to the Bridgerton tea party.
Yes.
Grace and I are each going to bring a couple little finger sandwiches. I'm going to make some tea infused cocktail. Maybe there'll be a little weed cocktail. We're going to make like fake flowers on hats. We're going to have ourselves just like a Lisa Vanderpump daydream.
Yes, I cannot wait. And it should be really, really fun.
Yeah. So if you haven't joined Patreon and you're thinking about it, maybe just even sign up and come to that and see how you like it. And
I think, and then we're going to be figuring out what we're watching over on This Might Get Real.
Right. It's a little bit of a funky time. We've got the Survivor finale by the time you're listening to this tonight. And so that'll be a big one on Friday. But so we're going to figure out what's coming up, but we would love for you to join us.
Yes, join us. And I think
this got weird.
Yeah.